just for me, so I know kind of, do you have your block or no? Are they not around? Okay, great. Take a block. I'm gonna have you sit on it and face the top of your mat. Coming for you, what is your most comfortable seat? So that means like finding a comfortable place for your hands to rest, your elbows to be soft, and close your eyes. So I am very familiar, as you can imagine, with rushing to get to a class on time. I feel like that's like the story of my life. And what always helps me is to have no expectation. Don't try to control the breath or control the mind right now. Just hold the body for a moment or two in stillness and kind of let everything catch up. And then have this visualization of all the things that have already been pulling at you this morning and pulling at your energy and your thoughts, almost like you're cutting those ties. And so you're just here in the space of your room, on your mat, and in your body. Take a full inhale and out through your mouth. Sigh that out, just with sound, letting your morning go already. Continue. Inhale. Take another deep sigh as you exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. As you continue to start to now take balanced breathing, today's class is very straightforward. We're going to do the poses 3 times, starting with the easiest variation and then progressively as the body opens, getting a little bit more challenging. And maybe challenging isn't even the right word. Seeing if by the third time we're able to go deeper, but relax more into the posture. Roll over your shins, removing that block. Bring your big toes together to touch back behind you. Our knees are going to be very wide, pushing your hips back towards your heels. Bend your elbows, fold in for your first child's pose. So for most people, typically when the knees are a little wider, we're able to extend the spine and drop the rib cage. And feel more of the opening through the back of the hips. And then in this place, as you settle, again, inhale. Starting to connect with a stillness as you exhale. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift up the center, tabletop position. Now, keeping your feet and knees together, knees pressed, push your hips all the way back towards your heels. knees together. And then this time, pull the hands back towards your feet and fold in for the full version of child's pose. As you completely round in and come into the full version of child's pose, when we don't have our arms in front of us, it might be a little bit easier to drop the weight of your torso onto your thighs. Continue to gather or like cut those cords of the things that are pulling at your energy, really with an exhale, trying to let the neck and shoulders soften and begin to feel the breath in your low back, in the back body. Inhale, exhale, come back, tabletop. We're going to keep the feet and knees together, but this time, tuck your toes under Maria, being all 10 toes, all the way to the pinky toes, and then put your hips back towards your heels. And you're just going to take an extra second and push even further back. Yep, maybe even feeling like you're walking your knees towards your feet so you feel it in the bottoms of your feet and your Achilles tendon. And then one more time, fold in for our third child pose. So we went from wide knees to knees together, and now adding the tucking of the toes, feeling the stretch in the Achilles tendon. So 3 options for your child's pose. Allow you to fill the breath into the back body. Take 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Lift up. Tabletop position, bringing the knees hip width distance apart. From here, we're going to keep our hips stacked over our knees. Walk your right arm forward. Fold your left forearm in for puppy dog pose with your right arm fully extended. Okay, so when we try to stretch the right side body, we're going to keep our feet, but you're going to put your hips gently to the left towards the bed. And then if you want to walk that right hand a little towards the left as well, you're going to feel from your outer right hip, stretching through the side ribs and through the outer right armpit. So let the right side body open. Inhale. Exhale, letting your spine decompress. You turn your sitting bones up towards the ceiling. And then release, walk back, tabletop position. Change side. Left arm extends forward. Second one, right arm folds in. So this one-armed puppy dog pose. Shift the hip gently towards the right. Move your left hand a few centimeters to the right as well. And let the left side body lengthen. And so I don't just think like the entire left side, like where your skin is, think to be spreading your ribs apart. Even imagine running up the whole entire left side of the spine. The left side of the spine is allowed to lengthen. Inhale. Exhale, come back up onto your hands, tabletop position. And then we'll take our last one. Come down onto your elbows this time. Palms come together to press. And then begin to slide your elbows forward as you lower your forehead down onto the mat. Excellent. Really good. Yep, you're going to feel kind of the biceps near the ears. Actively press your hands together and push the backs of your wrists, the pinky edge side of the hand down into the mat. And then into this space, draw the tailbone long, a little bit towards the cat pose, feeling the ribs gently lift up away from the mat to get more stretch to the armpit. Inhale. Exhale. Hands walk back up to center, tabletop position. Okay. Grab your double blocks. We're going to come up high. And as you come up high, right foot steps forward, back left knee lift into your low lunge. And then we're just going to add a little bit of like breath and movement to get us a little more focused. Drop that back left knee. Inhale, lift chest as you roll your shoulders down and back. And then straighten the front right leg and fold. And so maybe it's the sensation that starts to bring you into the body. Bend the front right knee. Inhale, slide forward. Yep, and then this time, lift your back left knee as you straighten the front right leg. And one more, push from your back, left toes, left knee drop. Peel all the way open through the front of the chest. And then straighten the front right leg. From there, lower the back left knee down and walk your blocks back, keeping your hip over your left knee and straightening your right leg. Okay, so Ardha Hanumanasana. Okay, so this would be your first one here, dragging the heel back. Good. Going for the length all the way through that back right sitting bone, lifting the chest, maybe looking forward. And then just give it time. So what I like about a practice where I know I'm going to do everything about 3 times, I don't try to like force it. I don't try to get everything all at once. I know I'm going to have a chance to let this deepen. Push into the blocks, fold your right leg in, tabletop, and change sides. Left foot steps forward, back right toes tuck. Yeah, so we kind of already started opening the Achilles tendon and calf. Drop that back right knee. From the belly button to the chest, inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. And then lift the back right knee. And fold that over your front left leg, 1. Drop the back right knee. Inhale to open chest. Gathering your energy into the body, onto the mat, fold in for 2. And we have 1 more. Back right knee drops. Inhale, chest opens, gaze forward. Feel the stretch maybe even into the right abdominal region. And exhale, fold, straighten the front leg. Good. Now put your back right knee down. Move the blocks back, stacking right hip over right knee, and flex and extend out through left leg. Ardha Hanumanasana. Okay. There's going to be a tendency probably here, Maria, for that right hip to kind of open to the right slightly. Turn your right hip forward. Yep, towards your inner left knee. So you're kind of like closing that right hip forward, squaring off the hips. 1. I try to press evenly down into the block to balance this out for 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Good. Fold your left foot back in tabletop position. Okay, so we add on. We go a little bit deeper. Step your right foot forward. Back, left knee lift. Long, low lunge here. Okay, put your back left knee down. We're going to keep our left toes tucked under, but this time we're going to walk all the way back. You're going to keep dragging back until you sit onto your left toes. Yep, and then you'll decide. I like to spin my blocks down to Chicago style and come more onto my forearms for balance here. Okay, so now gravity is trying to like press down more through the spine. There should be more sensation in this pose. You feel it in your left toes and the right hip. You can kind of drop down in space for your last few breaths. Keep extending the spine forward, lengthening through the crown of the head. And so by like our second time, like we peeled away some of the tension, try to go a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale, shift forward. Tabletop position as your right leg folds in. Left foot steps forward, left heel underneath your left knee as your back right leg extends. Yep. And then back right knee down, keeping the right toes tucked under. We're going to walk and slide that all the way back. Toes stand on the right side, kind of like that child pose. Drop down onto Chicago style on your block and fold in. So the whole point of class today is like start in the child pose where we had that like deep fold at the top of the hips. And then we did puppy dog pose where the spine was extending. And then adding onto the backs of your legs. Inhale. Exhale, shift forward. Use your blocks as you come back. Tabletop position. Left knee folds in. And then third one. Right foot steps forward. Back left knee lifts. Okay, so this will be our biggest hamstring as of yet. Straighten the front right leg fully. So now your right leg will be straight. And then step that back left foot in until your left heel grounds. Good. Use the block. Open up through the front of the chest, kind of arch the spine, look up. Very good. Yep. And then turn and fold out over your front right leg. So it always is kind of like the higher you lift your hips up, then the spine actually has like more space, kind of lengthen down, loading into that front right leg, push forward and down through your right foot. Go for the full hamstring stretch here. Inhale. Exhale, lift back up. And as you bend the right knee, meet me back, tabletop position. Inhale. Exhale, left foot step forward. Back right toes tuck. Long, low lunge. Straighten the front left leg. Pulling the left hip up and back. And then step that right foot in. Back heel grounds. We pause. We feel connection from the back leg through the right hip, extending through the spine. Try to arch into the low back. Inhale. And then exhale. Use the heaviness of your head, your spine, your ribs to fold out over the front leg. And load your left hamstring for the full stretch here. 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Bend both knees, meet me back. Tabletop position, you can remove your block. Good as you plant your hands. Inhale, cow pose, give it time. Shoulders away from your ears, feel the muscles in between your shoulder blades. And then take your hips up and back. And as you look back at your feet, Maria, take your feet as wide as your mouth. Take a slightly wider stance in our legs. It's a little easier on the hamstring. And it's also more accessible to press your heels out. Kind of pigeon toe your legs if you can, so that the legs are more internally rotating. It's like if my kneecaps had lasers on them, they'd be turning and shining towards the middle of the mat. So see if with slightly wider legs, if it's easier to press your chest back towards your thighs and start to open up your armpits. So just like we did in puppy dog pose, feeling length through the side bodies. Knees come down to the mat, table top position. Okay, now knees are going to come all the way together, feet are going to come all the way together. Keep the ankles squeezing. Inhale, cow pose. And then with your legs together like a single leg, take your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So when those feet come together, you might feel this as a slightly different stretch through the backs of the legs. We try to remember to micro bend the knees and continue to try to lift the sitting bones up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, take your knees down to the mat. Relax through the upper back. Inhale, gather your energy, pull it into the heart center. And one more time, now send your hips up and back down. But this time, I want you to totally shuffle your feet. So I want you to turn your feet open, 45-degree angle. Touch your inner heels together. If you have to shorten your down dog a little bit, that's okay. Bend your knees slightly, so the knees kind of wide and out. Potentially can be a stretch kind of for the outsides of the legs, the outer hips, sometimes even getting into your IT band. Inhale. Feel from there, Marita, just lift your heels and come into a regular downward facing dog. Feet are parallel to one another. Inhale. Forward into plank pose, stacking your shoulders over your wrists. Good. So for this first plank, I want you to squeeze your butt muscles and then just put your knees down. Yep, and try to hold looking forward in a half plank pose. So I imagine my knees squeezing towards one another. And then if I had like a broom handle, the back of my hips, my sacrum, the back of my heart, and the back of my head would all touch that broom handle. And then bend your elbows and lower slow all the way down onto your belly. Great. Point your toes. Feel the tops of your ankles press down into the mat. And then inhale, lift up, cobra pose. Yep. Keeping a micro bend to the elbows so that the shoulders stay away from the ears. Long through the sides of the neck. Yes. Good adjustment. I saw that. And then press back. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Use the breath to regather your energy to kind of like cut those cords, like maybe events or people or things are kind of like energy vampires, right? Like kind of draining us. Pull your energy back. Shift forward into plank. So this is your second plank. We're going to keep the knees lifted. Still feeling like you're squeezing a block between your inner heels, your inner knees, your upper thighs. And then in a straight line, can you bend your elbows and lower straight all the way down onto your belly? Lift the heads of the shoulders up first so that your shoulder blades are on your upper back. And then inhale, curl up, cobra. Yep, second one. Yep, bend those elbows a little bit more, Maria. Come down a little lower. The lower you drop your belly button, you can shrug your shoulders back and open your chest. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, maybe you shake out your head. And then last one, inhale forward into plank pose. From our plank, we're going to point our toes. Come onto the tops of the feet for our last plank, feeling the energy through the front of the body. And then lower your knees down and bend your elbows. Center of your thighs, tops of your thighs, squeeze between your shoulder blades as you lower. Inhale to lift chest, cobra. And then exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet at the back of your mat. And so as your hands walk back towards your feet and we load the hips over the ankle. Inhale, lengthen half flat back. Now I'm going to deeply bend my right knee and just fold over my leg. So you could hold the calf, you could hold the ankle, and try to do like a single leg forward fold. Through center, inhale, lift chest. Deeply bend left knee. And then turn the belly and chest out over your right leg. And focus on just stretching into the back of your right leg here. Okay, so when we do one leg or one arm at a time, we can usually go like slightly deeper. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. And then from there, for both legs now, fold in. Uttanasana, for your forward fold here. Gathering energy, giving yourself time, and as you squeeze the belly button back in and up, see if that makes more space to fold in. And then with a heavy head, roll up through your spine. Good. Walking forward to step to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up, reach. And then exhale, fold in. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. And then step your left foot back, lunge. Okay. 3 twists. Put that back left knee down. And then extend your right arm up. Simple twist here. When I twist to the right, I push my hip gently to the left. And then I focus on turning the belly button towards that inner right thigh. And then I bring my awareness up into my ribs and try to move from there. Release, lift the back knee, and step the back foot forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold evenly over both legs. Stretch the hamstring. And then step right foot deeply back, lunge. Yep. Drop that right knee. Extend your left arm. Simple twist. Push your hips a little to the right. Squeezing that left hip in. Turn through the belly, turn through the ribs. Try to stack left shoulder on top of right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down and step foot forward. Yep. Hands to shins. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. So I keep kind of like lengthen the top of my head down towards the space in between the feet as you fold. Soft bend to your knees and roll up through your spine. Stacking the vertebra, feel the shoulder blades settle onto your upper back. Inhale, arms up, reach, look up, stretch up. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana, forward fold. Hands to the mat, inhale, lengthen, and then step left foot back, lunge. Good, as we step that back left foot, lift to rise. Slightly deeper twist. Hands come down in front of the heart center, and then left elbow, edge of right knee. You press the elbow and knee together. You use that as leverage. Second time in to try to rinse through your abdominals. Inhale. Exhale, fingertips to the mat. Back foot step forward. Inhale, lengthen. So we keep wanting to do that double fold, Maria, even out of the balance and to neutralize the body at balance. Inhale, lengthen. Step your right foot back into your lunge. Plug down through your legs. Inhale, lift to rise. Okay. Hands at the heart. And then right elbow outside edge of left knee to twist. Feel the stability by pressing the knee and elbow together so that we can turn the ribs, stack the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, fingertips to the mat, back foot, step forward. So 2 are done. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Stretch the belly long. Try to reach the rib cage forward and down as you fold in Uttanasana. And then start by tucking your tailbone to roll up, standing strong into both feet. Tadasana, gazes forward, last one. Inhale, arms up, reach. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Good, that should lengthen out your low back. Decompressing there, inhale to lengthen, half flat back. Step your left foot deeply back, lunge. Okay, so our deepest one yet. Put your back left knee down. And then right hand onto right thigh. Shift back towards our 90-90 and lift that left arm. Okay, so when I shift back, now I've got all this space through my left side body as I try to bring my left tricep to the outside edge of my right knee and stretch my left fingertip down towards the floor. So my left shoulder is locked on the outside edge of my right knee, fingertips on the floor, or you could use a block. And then deepen the twist by extending your right arm up. And then if you want to take it just a little bit deeper for one breath, lift that back leg. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the release as you come back to the center. Good job. Back foot step forward. Final side. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, fold in. Stay light and fluffy through the toes. Don't grip there. And then with relaxed shoulders, roll up. Use the feet, stack through the knees, through the hips, up through the spine, melt the shoulders, lift the heart. And inhale, arms up fully here, reach. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale to lengthen, half flat back. Step your right foot back, but put your back right knee down so we can get deeper into the pose. Yep, take out the balance. Now, left hand onto your left thigh, shift all the way back and lift that right arm. So think of like when you're extending the right arm in puppy dog pose. Get length from your right hip through your right side rib and pull that right tricep to the outside edge of the knee. Good. And then extend the left arm up. Should be your deepest twist. And then lift the back right knee for one full breath. Inhale. Exhale. Hands to the mat, unwind, and step your back foot forward. Now take your double blocks, Maria, New York style. Inhale to lengthen, half flat back, and step your left foot back, lunge. Put your back left knee down, and now hold. Okay, so we did the 3 stretches for like the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Now you're going to work more into the front of the hip. Okay, so this should kind of be like the clearing stretch. First one, really feeling in the front of the left hip. Inhale. Exhale, lift the back knee. Change the legs. Left foot forward, right foot back. Back knee down. Put the work in the front of that right hip. You can always increase it by squeezing the right glute. So don't force, but get the body prepared for going deeper and deeper. Inhale. Exhale, back knee lift. Step your back foot forward. And change legs. Left foot back, back left knee down. And then this time, Maria, I want you to point your left toe, press to the top of your left foot, lift your back left knee, And then against that work, tuck the tailbone under, do the posterior tilt like cat pose, and then lengthen a little bit more forward. Look out your window. Imagine pulling your left foot forward like you're dragging the mat and lower your left knee down. Yep, so go forward, 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 and then gently release that left knee down and see if it feels any deeper into the left hip. Inhale. Exhale. Step the back foot forward. Top of your mat. Right foot steps back, lunge. Inhale. Exhale, put your back right knee down. Point your toe. Squeeze into the top of the foot. Lift the right knee so that your right leg is active. And then I pull forward through the right foot, through the right knee, through the right hip, through the tailbone. Extend the heart. Keep dragging, dragging, dragging forward, forward. As you slowly lower the right knee back down onto the mat. Deepen the stretch to the front of your right hip. Inhale. Exhale, back toes tuck, step forward, round 3, deepest one yet. And step, left foot back. Put your back left knee down. Yep. All right, now, we're gonna take that left block, LA style, to flat. Yep. And then I'm gonna prop myself up so I can move my right block and stack it on top as well. So what the point of this is it's gonna bring you up higher, okay? And then heel toe your right foot open out to the side, turning your right knee and your right foot on the diagonal. Right hand onto your right knee. Now start to add it all together. Do the twist, turning your belly towards your right leg. Turn the shoulders, look back. Then you start to see your back left foot. And then the right arm extends back. Fold the back leg in and try to grab the top of your left foot and squeeze it in for your deepest left hip, left quadricep opening. 1. Sinking forward and down through the hips for 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Good. Release. Unwind. Split your blocks again. Come up high. Tabletop position. And then left foot steps forward. Tuck your back toes. Meet back in a lunge. Otherwise, people's pose gets a little bit short. Okay, so we're getting there. Left foot is forward. Yeah. And you want to see it like you're actually clearing out space today. Okay, put your back right knee down. Plant your right block. Support yourself as you plant your left block on top of it. I'm going to heel toe that left foot open. So I sink even deeper into my right hip. Left hand, left knee, turn the belly, turn the chest, get your twist. See if you can look at your back right foot and then fold the back right foot in as you reach back with your left hand. 1. Inhale. Use this as like a counter pose to just daily life, how we close off the front body. We don't do back bends. We don't do twists. Try to get it all here. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Remove your block and tabletop position. Tuck your toes under. Pull your chest forward. Inhale, cow. Exhale, hips lift. Downward facing dog. Check into the backs of the legs. How do they feel from the beginning of class? Arms up overhead, long through side body. Inhale, forward into plank pose. Exhale, bend elbows, lower straight down onto your belly. Inhale, point toes, curl up, cobra. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. So every pose, just an opportunity to like arrive, to get centered, to gather in. And then you'll take your knees down to the mat. And I'm going to take my blocks with me, Maria. Yep. So they're close by. And then this one we're going to do a little bit differently. We're going to do it the more active one first and then slowly lower down to something more passive. Okay, so just prepare, feet are hip width distance apart. Preparing for bridge pose. Tuck your tailbone under, right, as you lift your hip. Interlace your hands underneath your pelvis and walk your shoulders in. Yeah, so those last poses that we were doing should have really kind of opened the tops of your legs, the fronts of your hips, squeezing the glutes to tuck the tailbone under. Lift your chest. Inhale. And then release your hands and exhale. Lower all the way down. Wait for the breath here. Inhale. Exhale. So I'm going to let you decide either one more like that, or if you want to plant your hands alongside your ears. Yeah. And lift up, bridge. Okay, pretend like there's a block in between your knees and you're squeezing in there. All the way up into pelvic floor, from pelvic floor through the center of the heart, through the base of the throat, through the upper palate, the roof of your mouth, through the crown of the head, lift. And then release your hand and slowly lower down. So then the easiest one, we're going to stack both blocks on top of one another, LA style, bringing them underneath your hips. Yep, so lay down first, Maria. Lay down first. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Sometimes people will lift their hips up and then they drop and fall backwards, right? So, all right. And then I like to turn my toes in slightly, like that little bit of pigeon pose, like pigeon toed. Widen across your collarbones, palms are turned open. The other thing I find that by like repeating poses, I like learn something from the first one, or like I listen to my body. And then see here if we can really land like in neutral, in equanimity in the body. You stretch the front, the back, the sides, the twist, the heart opening. Closing your eyes, imagining the breath is like a magnet, pulling your focus, your concentration, your awareness back in. And as you push into your feet, lift your hips, remove the block. Stretching your legs to straight, Savasana. Still have any of that speed or sense of rushing trapped in the body, you can take long exhales out through the mouth. Inhale, exhale. And then before you really like kind of hopefully break the bubble of your practice, and we just try to pay more attention to who and what like pulls at our energy as we go through the course of the day. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Stretch your arms up and over. And bend your knees as you roll to the right. And press up to find seated. Holding the hands together in front of your heart center. And so I can like, I literally like feel the strings of people, right? Kind of like pulling me off center, and that ability, even if it's like a shorter class though, that like you centered, you're grounded. Take your thumb to your third eye to bow forward and seal your practice. Jai Siddhasana.